Little did we know you'll die a tragic death. A death characterized by boot prints on your chest, a blunt object striking your head, stab wounds on your breast and back, a gunshot at the back of your head, and a bleeding nose. It never occurred to me and your loved ones in the family that we will have to identify you in a bush lying face down, with your hands clutching tightly on grass and shrubs, fighting for your life. Distance of crawling to the road and the grass where we found you tell us the story of a fighter we never knew. Your daughter Alia said to us, "Mom said she's coming to pick me up. Mom bought me this jacket. Mom is fighting." It was the latter words and the strange stamping of a 3-year-old that sent shockwaves to our spinal cord that we are dealing with something that may end in tears. And indeed, it has ended in tears. We remained strong, hoping against hope. We looked for you in bushes at Gamagugu. We went to busy streets with your photo. We went to bushes we were sent to. We called out your name at weird hours of the night, thinking you'll answer back and we'll rescue you. We never stopped searching for you up until a call came through. "Buti, terminate the operation. It is done. Come to Sabi." The code was clear, and I knew what awaits me. My legs could not take me to drive the car. Those volunteers who had come to the rescue mission drove me to your last place of breath. I stumbled and fumbled and nearly fell over you. I greeted you, and you never answered back. I asked you questions. You remained silent. In the words of a great poet, Walt, your lips were pale and still. You could not hear my voice. You had no pulse. You lied fallen cold and dead. I have told the story of your gruesome death. I now turn to those who killed you. More than 100 have been kidnapped and released or left to release themselves. Their silence and silence of their close friends killed you. Those 100 and their friends who knew and came before you failed to report, nor do follow up on this crime of abduction, to use captives' ATM cards and their PIN codes. Their silence and the silence of the community and incompetence of police with active dockets of 100 similar incidences killed you, my dear. You are here. They are here. They cry the loudest. They are cowards, and their cowardice killed you. You have been killed by the silence of your country against this new crime. Everyone was silent until this gruesome death, and only now many of them are coming out. The criminals have got nowhere to hide. The spirit of Lee Matthews and Captain Pete Bielefeld lives on. They shall be found, and better the police find them before we do, for we cannot guarantee their life after citizen capture. They heard your name is Gardee and feared you'll talk, unlike the cowards who never spoke after their ordeal. They knew their days are numbered. You gave them a fight and they were frightened. They will regret emptying your bank account and taking your life for a penny. No one wanted to employ you in their companies and government departments because your surname is Gardee. You could not even be a general worker with an IT advanced diploma of UNISA. They are all here from big companies and government departments, and they remember me telling them that I have a graduate at home. Because your surname is Gardee, they dare not put their positions in line. We forgive them, but we shall not forget. I have resigned my fate that only my family business will employ children bearing a Gardee surname because their father is a member of a fearless organization, the Economic Freedom Fighters. We will miss your smile. The phone calls and text messages we had together between the 26th and 27th of April will remain indelible in my heart. I will still carry out your instructions to collect your advanced diploma in IT at UNISA. We will hang it in the memorial wall of our house until eternity. I will look after your child as my granddaughter. That is all you left with me. You loved education and you loved humanity. I will set up a Hillary Gardee Foundation as your legacy project. You and your sister Shamina designed the lion logo of our law firm and its letterhead. You designed the website of the law firm. You were a jack of all trades and master of all. You departed before I could pay for the invoice. Your siblings will miss you. Your cousins will miss you. Your congregants will miss you. Your friends will miss you. Your grandparents, aunties and uncles, local and afar will miss you. We will miss you daily with Mrs. Gardee. Lala ngoxolo nkosazana kaGardee. Lala ngoxolo Gardee omuhle.
What a tribute, what a tribute. Very touching. Mr. Jomo Nyati. Mr. Jomo Nyambi, I apologize. Please come and represent the neighbors. With Sipokazi, right after you, to usher in usiswethu auntie umama ugogo, the Honorable Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule, on behalf of the Mazibane and Bata family. Sipokazi after Ubabu Jomo, then the Deputy Minister. We still have Ubabu Sipongwenya, Lebus Khobela, Matema, the co-chair is gonna take us through that. Commissar Veronica Mente. Thank you.
Amen. 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 Amandla. Amandla. Long live the spirit of Hillary, long live. Long live the spirit of Hillary, long live. Long live the spirit of Hillary, long live. Program directors, ministers, deputy ministers, leader of the EFF, CIC, Malema, and the entire leadership of EFF, leader of the ANC in the province, the grieving Bata and Gardee family, people of Mpumalanga, fellow mourners, when I'm saying Amandla, I'm trying to gain strength. Hillary was also a daughter to me. I've been friends with Gardee for more than 3 decades. I don't know why out of all friends, I'm here, but maybe it's because there's only one reason. I've lost a lot of family members, and in all of them, I've been with God. Including all the parents, I've been with God. When God lost his brother and Hilary's mother, I was there. But I want to confirm what you have said, Pastor. And Umam Nora Fagude. If out of Hilary's death, as human beings will fail to take serious lessons, we'll be failing as human beings. We've been there since she was missing, on the day she was found lifeless, until the early hours of that day. I've buried more than 500 people attending funerals with Gardee family. What stand out every time when we went is the story that he used to share it. He shared it 2 years back when I lost my one and only remaining brother. I'll talk about these 3 things and then sit down. Utsi Gardee, Beguna, this famous pastor, who township that is very close to where we are. Every time my family ilahlekele, bekafike ahage a person who's in tears. Atsi, ungakhali njengemuntu longadi, inkosi iyadi. She was doing it for 20 solid years. And all the years, Loma Mfundis, Begang Magem Mfundis, she thought Begakhamfatha labantu labasemandini. Until the day Guhamba pastor. But Begakhala uncontrollably. Then one brave woman, Wamhaga, and said the same thing. Kutunga khali njengemuntu longadi, ingosu yadi. But Bambamba, Magemfundisa afuna kushaya this woman. What's the morality of this thing? You'll never understand death until it happens to you. You can think we are duduza kanti uyalimata. Because we bege kahle makefakude athi sitawuhamba sonke. And singayengani ukuthi no, it will pass. It's a permanent scar. You'll never forget it. Kwesibili, Hilary usifunzise ukuthi umuntu ngebantu. And that's what is missing in a lot of us. Adopting a child, taking care of that child, having some issues of finances to that child. What more would you want from a human being more than that? And yet we have people that think it's a right to kill such a person. Ngithandza make Nora ukuthi ngikujoyine ngithi uma sitawuhluleka njengebantu baseMpumalanga baseNingizimu Afrika kuthatha ama lessons kule mpilo. As friends to the Gardee family, right from day one, kubo bonke lalabanye labake bahamba baka Gardee bakambatha, especially when Gardee decided to join the economic freedom fighters, we never saw the support as yendeka namuhla. Isitshela ukuthi Mfundisi lapha ku Isaiah kunelivi lelithi ngekufa kwenkosi uZiya ngambona uJehova. Ngekuhamba kwaHilary ngowaphi lama lesson letsine siwathathako lata senta sibe bantu labangcono. Ngime la ebanganini nabomakhelwane ukuthi buta ukuthi yini labatoyisho ngathi mhla kuhamba thina. Angeke abantu basemhlabeni bathi baphumulile. Angeke yini bantu basemhlabeni bathi saphumula. CIC, I want to sing in the role that you have played, the entire leadership of EFF right from day one. Sometimes we take it for granted and say you are not going to just be praising a fish for swimming because we expect a fish to swim. But it's always right to give credit where it's due. As ngisho ukuthi lo mndeni wakaGardee sinama 30 element. But le role ledlale elichaza lelidlalwe ngile leadership yenu yaswelakala imilomo letingulungwane. General, ngiyamjoyina sisi wasekhaya, sisi wethu, sisi waGardee, ukuthi well, it's true, maybe iyawudzingakala the change of how we want to do things as a country, because there are a lot of things that are a problem, Fundis. A lot of things. We are not going to justify what is wrong, but there are things that out of them we can build something. Kunebantu sometimes criticize things city support. Especially the visibility yemaphoyisa, irole edlala ngugeneral kuyo yonke lemndeni. Simbonile mntwana bambulala Eastern Cape, sibonile eKZN, sibonile le list eGauteng, sibonile almost all these provinces lobo ukhuluma ngako mfundisi, and general has been leading from the front. But lana province general, probably I will be failing if I acknowledge the role ya General Manamela. Manamela, it's always leading from the front. Sometimes things that I thought can be easily delegated and uhlale akhona. Emdenini wakaGardee ngishiya nemagama wesilwane leslatiko, lion. Even when a lion is hungry, it won't eat grass. So don't change your principle because your stomach is empty. Let me repeat it. Even when a lion is hungry, it won't eat grass. So don't change your principle just because your stomach is empty. To all the people of Mpumalanga, never ever forget this. Always remember that you can grow without destroying others. Always remember that you can dream or have your dreams that can be fulfilled without sabotaging others. Always remember that nobody must go down just because we have to rise. Always remember that nobody must be shamed or embarrassed for your smile to be sustained. Always remember that while you are rising, you can always allow others to rise. To people that sometimes write nonsense in Twitter about what is happening to this family, always remember that finding satisfaction in the pain of others will never bring you happiness. Always remember that what you always wish others in prayer is for yourself. Become the good fire that genuinely lights up others, not the one that rains the joy, goodwill, expectation of others. Never take delight in causing pain or sponsoring the tears of another human being. Never, ever, never, ever use your position of authority to punish people who are powerless. You'll never know what the future holds for tomorrow. Always, let's use the position you occupy, not to frustrate people, but to make people to be happy about our positions. As I'm about to conclude, Gardee friend, but a family, Hillary was a gently loving human being. If out of the blessings we learn to take some lessons that will make us better human beings. As I'm standing here, on my right, I see my shadow. I've stopped calling it Stundisama. I know ukuthi ngibeleke kufa, lokhu kufa kwami. I know ukuthi one day I'll die. Akukho lo ngenaso sakhe. It must always remind all of us ukuthi one day sidawudlula. But what will people say about us? Yini le contribution? There are a lot of things that we know that are going wrong. And there are a lot of things that sometimes some of us, when it's convenient, we contribute for them to be worse. Lala ngoxolo, Hilal. Bomuhle usaphila. I'm one of those that benefited out of your IT skills. I'm like your father. You died also before I can foot the bill. I'm like Mom Nora. I think on her behalf now, she still have to foot that bill. Sibaningi lesima beneficiary. Umundu ngumundu ngebantu. May her beautiful soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Your hands reached into Greetings, church, in the wonderful name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Thixo Nkosi yenyaniso, zonke inhlanga, zonke izizwe mazizuze usindiso. Amadolobheni izwe makagobe phambi kwakho, zide zithi zonke ilwimi ziluxele udumo lwakho. Lawula, lawula, lawula Nkosi Yesu, koza ngawe ukonwaba ngeziphithiphithi zethu. Yonakele imihlaba, bona izwe lakokwethu, uxole izono zalo, zungayithobi inqubo yakho, luze lufu usapho lwakho. Yala Nkosi, yala Nkosi, singadeli imfundiso zezwi lakho, uze usivusele sive inyaniso. Yakho.
Oh, thank you. It's like you can continue and continue and continue. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Greetings to the servants of God in the house, Apostle Pogo, Pastor Elliot, and many other men of God in our midst. Greetings to Deputy Ministers, the Premier of the province of Mpumalanga. Greetings to the President of the Economic Freedom Fighters and the leadership of Freedom Fighters. Greetings to the Chief of the African National Congress. That is almost 30% in this hall. Yes. Greetings to my family. I'm here representing the three families: the Gardee family, Bata family, and Mazibane family. The Mazibane family is a very small family. I know that some of you even hear this surname for the first time, because it's a very, very small family. So we love expanding. When the daughters of Mazibanes get married, we also adopt those people where they are married, and they become one family. We love our grandchildren. We love our cousins, our nieces and nephews. And when we call ourselves the Mazibane family, it's when we have incorporated all these extended families coming from our aunts where they are married. That's why I'm just clarifying this, that we should not be surprised as to why. I'm Regina Mhaule, but I'm a Mazibane by blood and by birth. As the family, we are shattered. Sibuhlungu ngendlela lemangalisako ngoba besinelithemba lelikhulu lokuthi umntwana unyamalele utawubuya. Nalesento sokuthi kuyolahla umntwana lapha bese sithi hayi kusho bamlahle ngoba or bafuna makwakhe for a night or whatever. We didn't know. That's why on Saturday we decided to go report the case to the police. And the police from that day, they never rested. They worked tirelessly day and night. The other day at the postmortem, we were with the police when the postmortem was conducted. This police officer nearly fell down. We held him, said, hey, why? I said, we haven't been sleeping since this child disappeared. And you can see I'm swollen here. Even yesterday, some were telling us the same thing. Their eyes were red. That the minister said, we don't sleep. He gave us 72 hours. And as the family minister, I want to thank you that at least a preliminary report that gives hope to the family has been given to the family last night by your police officers. And we are saying crime is crime, gender-based violence is gender-based violence, regardless who commits it. The law must take its full course, and justice must prevail, even for our daughter. As the father was saying, that she's a fighter. She's a fighter. You can see that she was tortured for a long time because she disappeared on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And when she was found on Tuesday, you can tell that she didn't die on Friday. That very same morning, she was thrown in those bushes. And she was still fresh and soft to show that whatever happened, the death came on the very same day, the night on the Tuesday of the 3rd of May. So when she went to the mortuary, because, you know, in the scene, we were all concerned about the child. And we see the child complete, wearing her pants and everything. Said, oh, the bruises are only on the face and the head. Little did we know that the whole body is bruised with boots. And the marks of the boots are very clear and visible when we went to the mortuary. And during the post-mortem, we stayed there for the whole day because that's when I realized that there's a bullet. There's a bullet shot at the back of the head, but there's no space that is showing that the bullet came through. Then she was taken to the scanner. Then they were able to see the bullet, and it was removed. And which we believe that is the one that led the police to closer to the report that they gave to the family last night. And because when we go there, we're there during the postmortem, we didn't see other scars, but when we went with the forensic team from Pretoria, sent by the minister, we found that she was stabbed, even on the forehead, on the breasts, they were stabbing. You ask yourself, what was happening all these 4 days with this child? That's why I was so devastated. We know we're all going to die. That we know. But not this brutality that has been experienced by the family. So we thank you, Minister. We thank you, Provincial Commissioner, Deputy Minister. Thank you so much. But as the family, we want to give special thanks to you, President of the EFF. Not about what you did now, that since day one you came, you stayed with us throughout to this day, and the role that you played in the preparations for this work. Want to thank you. We are a very united family, and we care for one another. And we don't look at political affiliations. We support our own when our own is holding a position. Gardee knows that we're praying for him as the family when he was the SG of your organization. Because if he fails, he didn't represent us well. It means the family has failed. That's why after your conference in 2019, we felt bad as the family, very bad. Extremely, yeah, very bad. We felt very bad. I want to be honest, as the family. We even called a meeting, a very big meeting. We were more than 200 in that meeting, family members. He can attest to that next to you. And they wanted to blame you, and we were blaming you, in fact. He stopped us. He said, no, 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 no. And we spoke, we arranged a program, and with speakers, all of us hammering on you in absentia. So when it was his time to speak, he said, family, all what you have said is wrong. He said, hey, now you are defending him. He said, no, you are wrong. He even called me aside. He said, Mamnan, let me tell you, because I can see you and the entire family, you don't understand. This is democracy, and we practice it in my organization. We don't fight for positions that if I didn't get the position, then it's war. I still have a future in that organization. I said, how? How is that future? I said, no, look here. I'm busy with my LLP. The leadership of my organization promised that they will pay for my fees, and I will complete. They will support me when I do my articles, and they will pay for my rent in Johannesburg. And I said, how true is that? Then he never came to ask for anything, because at that time we were able to contribute for him, and we wanted to. He said, don't worry, Mamncane, all is sorted. These are the actual words that came from him. Everything is sorted. Huh? So we observed, graduated for his articles. Now he is a practicing attorney with his own practice. Mošabi re nyaka go tšea sebaka se re o leboge mo pele setšhaba re se ka bolela tšatši le ba re o robetše re phuša o nyaka go tlo bolela re le family gore re nyaka go leboga re paletše. So le ge ba sa re kenye in your program o tsebe gore family ya ga Mazibane, family ya ga Mbatha, family ya ga Gardee e go lebogile. we may not know that without your support and instilling the hunger for education in him, he would not have been an attorney today. And I was worried at some stage when I was still MEC in the province. You were president of the African National Congress Youth League. I said, hey, why is this president not talking about education? Every time I said, he must speak about education. And now we wanted to leave ANC, then we started to take education and put it fashionable. And we appreciate, of course, as government, about what we are doing, that you are promoting education in the country and in the young people. That's why all of them now are eager and very hungry to learn. Even you other fighters, take heed from your leaders, from what they are doing, that education is number one. I'm not saying that be educated for you to go seek work. Be educated for your scope to grow and understand and know the environment and understand the entire world, and you'll know where to contribute. So, Mushabi Ralevo Kantate, Mudima Veloena, to our daughter, angeke thina sithi silahlekele. She passed on fighting. The blood is still oozing. Even now, as a family, we're a bit afraid that, hey, if we take long, we might be embarrassed. Yeah, we had to put some measures to stop, not to stop, but to make sure that the blood does not come down. It's oozing, even as I speak. The tears never stopped coming down. The first day, they said, no, try, wipe the tears. We wiped the tears. When we went yesterday, the tears are still fresh. So, my God, what is this? Is our daughter dead or what? What is actually happening? Because you can see that the person is still fighting, even where she is right now. She's still fighting. And to her, the battle is not yet over. That's why we see the things that we have never seen before. We are older enough to have experienced things about death, but life after death, that will still, blood will still come out, tears will still come out when the person is dead, and when the person has been put in the refrigerator, it's abnormal. It's for the first time we experienced. We went with the older people of the family. They saw it. They said, we don't understand this. And indeed, we don't understand it. Maybe Minister Cele, you will help us to understand this. We just don't understand. But we release her. Gardee family, Hillary is no more. Mbata family, Hillary is no more. Mazibane family, Hillary is no more. Methodist Church, White River, Hillary is no more. Fighters, Hillary is gone, is no more. And may his spirits rest in perfect peace. We are praying for her soul to rest in peace. She died fighting, and to her, she's still fighting. So, Bafundisi, we need to pray for her peace. Because, yes, her spirit will never die, never. But let's pray for the peace of her spirit. Labo, labende logu, mabangaktholi kuthula, bangakaxolisi kuNkulunkulu. They must give their lives to God and ask forgiveness to God. And if they don't do that, they will not get peace. Them and their children and their great children. May God bless you all.
Siyabulela, Mama Regina. Sizawubiza the poet, gender-based violence activist, Sfezi Wemkabela, aze ngaphambili As we wait for Sfeziwe, want to thank you, Mama Regina. And indeed, they may never find peace. And in fact, they should be very glad that the police got to the one that they go to first. But if there are others out there, they must also pray that the police get to them first, not before the fighters get to them. We'll find them, not this time around. Sfeziwe Mkhabela.
You rape my mind. I'm a woman. Does it make sense to you that I carry my pride between my legs? You rob me of my pride just to feed your lust, your cravings. Open your legs when I sfeb uyakwazi ukushake. Your voice is all I carry with me. All you care about is your satisfaction. A book filled with pages, story I never told, pages torn, and I was empty. Battles fought, scenes taught, innocence gone. Story of a girl child. Hope I keep climbing the ladder. Tripping has become my name. And I find comfort in mistakes. You see, he called my name. He threw sticks at me. He led me to his room. He laid me down. He shoved his fingers in me, and he made me touch. He made me touch his manhood. I could hear his voice say, "Shh, kancane nje mshaya." No! And I lost my voice. I lost my voice the moment he undressed me. He undressed my soul. He undressed my pride, and he undressed my innocence. When? Huh? When does it end? When our lives are being shattered, our dreams are being stolen away from us, for we are raped, we are burned, we are buried alive. The likes of Karabo Mukwena, who was abused and burnt by her boyfriend. The likes of Cheryl Zondi, who was raped by her pastor. The likes of Nomtanda Zombata, who was raped and buried in a shallow grave. The likes of Tepiso Posa, who was raped at 6 years old. The likes of Hilary Gardee, who was kidnapped and murdered. And I am Sfeziwe Mkhabela. I was molested under the age of 10 years old. We want to be free. South Africa, free us. We want to be free. Amanda!
Enkosi Sisifeziwe, sizawubiza the premier, Mama Mthweni Tsipane, to come up. And after Mama Tsipane, sawucela uMatema asinikeze one item immediately after Mama Tsipan. And when she goes down, Matema, we're going to call upon the Minister of the Police, Babu Pegi Tsaele, after Matema. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Program Director, for the opportunity. Our warm greetings to the Gardee family, friends and relatives of Hilary Gardee, ministers and deputy ministers in our midst, the members of the Executive Council of Mpumalanga, the Executive Mayor of the City of Mbombela, Councillor Makushe, the leadership of the African National Congress, led by our chairperson, Comrade Mandla Ndlovu, the leadership of the Economic Freedom Fighters present, led by the Commander-in-Chief, Sello Julius Malema, our pastors in our midst, Ubukosi, that is with us today, the people of Mpumalanga. Program Director, on behalf of the Mpumalanga Provincial Government, we join the multitudes of the people from across the length and breadth of our province and indeed the entire country in expressing our heartfelt condolences to the Hilary's parents and the entire Gardee family for their untimely loss. We are indeed traumatized and revolted at the manner in which Hilary lost her life. What we know so far of the painful circumstances surrounding Hilary Gardee's passing leaves us numb and angry at how cheap the life of our children have become in the minds of these heartless, despicable criminals. To the Gardee family, we want to reaffirm that your loss is our loss. There's no doubt that your pain is indeed our pain. We know you never expected to outlive your child, and we trust that you may draw solace and comfort from the support you have received from the community and people from all walks of life across the length and breadth of our country and even beyond. Hilary was a young person who fell prey to this heinous injustice as her contribution to her community and the country was beginning to be visible. She is a shining example of youth who have risen above the odds and were not deterred by the challenges that they faced. As the provincial government, we want to pledge our honor to Hilary's legacy by continuing to place youth development at the center of our priorities. To the Gardee family, we are proud to recall your contribution to the Mpumalanga provincial government over many years. Despite your new roles and party political contests, we hope to be able to draw on your wisdom and perspectives on how we can uplift our youth in this province. Whilst investigations are ongoing, we cannot escape the reality that too many women and girls are faced with this violence in our streets, at school, on campuses, at work and places of worship, worst of all in their own homes. We must create a society where violence against women is not tolerated anymore by our communities, by our neighbors, by our police, and by our justice system. We want to pledge to work tirelessly with communities and civil society to make our province a safer place for our women and children. To the family, we wish to acknowledge the deep pain
you are going through due to the manner of your child's death. We ask our law enforcement agencies to leave no stone unturned in finding the perpetrators and ensuring that they face the full might of the law, irregardless of who they are, what political parties are they affiliated to, and what is their standing in the community, even if it means that it is me as the premier of the province. Let me face the full might of the law. We fervently ask that God extends his healing hand over your wounds so that in time you may begin to heal. To the family, relatives, and friends of Hillary, we ask that you draw some comfort from the words in the good book, especially the Psalm 34, verse 18, which reads, "The Lord is near to the heartbroken and saves the crushed in spirit." Again, to the family, let me also leave you with the fitting words from an American award-winning and best-selling author, Iyanla Vanzant, who reminds us the pain of the past does not have to be today's reality. In her book titled, "Yesterday I Cried," celebrating the lessons of living and loving, she writes, and I quote, "Life hurts. Life is painful. Life is suffering. There is nothing in life that does not involve trial. There is nothing worthwhile that doesn't have a cost. Yet we must go on. There is nothing great that does not require a series of small acts. We must persevere. If we do, good times are sure to follow. If we constantly seek, even in darkness, guidance is sure to come. If we strive against evil, no matter what the cost, righteousness is sure to thrive." I want to leave this podium by saying to our sister, my daughter Hillary, rest in eternal peace. I thank you, Program Director.
May God make a way for us. To help you prosper, not plans to make you perish. Just trust in me, I'll make your way. I don't ever count your mistakes. I forgive you for all your sin. I am the great I am. Just trust in me, I'll make your way. He says, even in my darkest shade, Lord, you are still my light, the way, the truth, the light. We trust you will make a way. We believe that he will make a way for us, even in this difficult time. We say, trust you will make a way. Trust you will make a way. Trust you will make a way. We trust you will make a way. 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 We trust you will make a way. even when you fall, my love for you will never fail you. His love for you will never fail you. Just trust He has made a way. He says, wait patiently in my presence. Just be still and know I am God. I've never let you down. Just trust I have made a way. He says, even in your darkest sin, it doesn't matter. God, I am still your light. I'm the way, the truth, the life. Just trust I have made a way. He says, even in your darkest sin, I still shine so bright. For I'm the way, the truth, the life. Yes, I trust you. I trust you make way. I've seen you make ways for. I trust you make way. I know you will make way. I know you will see the fruit. I know you will comfort the heart. If you believe, you will make way. I believe it. I believe you will make way. I believe you will make way. We trust you will make it. I trust you will make it. I trust you will make it. I trust you will make way. For He has good plans for you, and the plans to help you prosper, not plans to make you perish. Just believe He has made a way. He says, even in your darkest sin, I still shine so bright. For I'm the way, the truth, the life. I trust you will make a way. 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 Trust you will make a way. I trust you will comfort their hearts. I trust you will touch their hearts. I trust you will wipe their tears. We trust you will make a way. I'll be
Siyabonga. Cula kahle man. Apart bohlelo, program directors, the family, Gardee, the leadership of the EFF, led by the Commander-in-Chief, I wonder about Japanese wine ngoba ngikubiza kanje zonke insuku. I wonder what you with your SG, your DP, your national chair, nama armed forces, nama ground forces. The Premier of this province, Minister Lindiwe Zulu, ngimbonanga uNdlovu khona. Ngoba uthanda ukumemeza uMinister uZulu, kodwa ake ngisho ukuthi ummemeza thina. Deputy Ministers, Makhelwane, Pinky, Deputy Minister, Castle, uvavi ngimbonile ka Deputy Minister uDukona. Mawethu siyabonga uMamnora. Chairperson wami kule province uMandla leadership yakho. Namhlanje I just want to be praise singer. Wemfundisi. Akona amazulu kuphela aqhathayo. Uzwile mfundisi uthi wathi umzulu chathile. Indeed, this made us forget ukuthi konje we are political animals and reminded us that we are human beings. And we are human beings. I just want to take note yalo Hillary. Unezitho nje ethephecelezi uMamnora ufuna ukumfaka kwi-Veterans League. But when it was raised ukuthi ulahleke nengane yakhe yatholakala, I didn't know the story of a child. It tells you ukuthi she lives far ahead of her times. People abaneyingane abafuna ukuba neyingane. Uhulumeni ubhizi ondla iy'ngane zabantu abayizele. Yena uthatha a serious responsibility, even more the people abaneyingane. She was just a special girl. She was just a special girl. Just imagine bonke omama nobaba bengane ingaphela le mali ekhokhwa uLindiwe. Yenze ezinye izinto, ifundise ezikolweni yenze ezinye izinto. Ngalokho kunemali yonke abantu abanoyise abahamba ngemoto eziphambili. Kahle abanye abantu abadinga ukuboshwa kakhulu laba abangazondla ingane. Boshwe nje, uboshwe iminyaka nje noma ingeminingi. Uma ungayondla ingane usebenza unemali unikwe u9 years. So that le mali izohamba yokwenza imisebenzi efanele iyenze. Now I do want to thank the CIC, but no Gardee. This thing started on the day or the next day when we spoke in the morning, talking about a missing young woman. We didn't know what that afternoon we'd be talking about what we're talking about today. Painful. I think we began at Luchom. Awukhali lento mawa next door uyizwa kahle mhla ngene endlini ngenendlini kaGardee sonke la sizokukhalisa but wena nomndeni wakho you see you haven't felt pain because you were preparing for this event idlulileke manje it's after now la uzothi manibuye endlini when you have put her for the last time and when you turn your backs away from forever from her and you go back endlini when that plate is no more there when that shout of death is no more there when you can't say hambolala wenzani then it will dawn that she's gone. I want to sing praise for la mantombazana mabili sukumani mantombazana ahlatshwayo you know and PC stand up. That is a provincial commissioner, General Manem. That is a General Sentemole. She's a divisional head of detectives and my intelligence people. So since I came to the house, she never left here. She kept her here. We kept her here. Ute ukhathele ngafuna ukuzala ngathi ubani ongakhathele. Because I wanted to save uJulius. I wanted to save uJulius Selo Malema, CIC. Because ubezoboshwa. Ngoba ubethe mayethole eqala laba bantu. Akazi kuzokwenzekani manje bezobathola izinto angayazi bese ngiyambopha. So I had to save him. I have to save him for finding labantu. Babumfundisi and the rest of us. Kunendaba esingakayikhuluma. Fanele sikhulume namadoda. Let's speak to the man. Let's speak to men. Asingakayikhulumi kahle le ndaba. Ukucela abantu besifazane because they've got nothing to do with all this rubbish we are doing as men. We're doing rubbish as men. At the present moment, we have 4 men who chased this young woman alone. Omunye simbophila about 3. Simbophilo yethu about 3. They are men of interest. These are men. Lo esimbophile wazalwa ngo-1982 ufanele ukuthi uyashada namhlanje. Umshado umile. Umshado umile. Chasing and killing a young woman. Fanele ukuthi uyashada, fanele ukuthi usemshadweni as we speak. Kuzofanele ke sikhulumeni namadoda amadoda. Uye court ngomsombuluko ngizwile ukuthi ufuna ukuyombona nami ngiyahalela ukumbona. So he's going to court on Monday. We have 3 more men of interest. But CS Commander-in-Chief, Asmil, there's been a question asked time and again by the media. Is it economical? Is it political? Is it criminal? Is it... It does look like it's combination. For now. But umekho nowazi ukuthi wenzeni akasukumasho. Akekho ozosinda. Uthi ubani ongincomile umhla uthi wathi thumela amathimba awathumela ngamathimba ufuna kuthiwa ufuna abathi oJulius interferisha nomsebenzi abathunyelwe ucommissioner abathunyelwe kayimeni. But we send best teams here, from laboratories, from Hawks. We send our top forensic person who dealt in a case, Pretorius. We send best team here because I wanted to protect you. And that team is going to be around, and I can assure you, no one is going to survive the team. No one. No one. Norma is economical, Norma is political, Norma is criminal, Norma is otherwise. No one is going to survive the team. When Richard Nwambungeni indaba zabantu, remember NEC kodwa ubiza imhlangano abantu babekhishwa kuma-poster abo. Hambe ngeni indaba zabantu. I-EFF iyayikhethela le, iyikhethela yena ubiza umhlangano wefamily la uzongena ungangeni indaba zabantu wena. We'll go on, we'll work together, we will work hard. On this one, we have really worked together with the leadership of the EFF. We have really worked together. Thanks, Julius. There are things kwesinye isikhathi ebengisole ngathi ziyaphuma endleleni ngikufonele uyilungise ngibona cha sezilungile ngoba it has been I can assure you for 72 hours amaphoyisa awalalanga. You see my xoxela story ungathi story sika 8 months lo 72 hours izinto ezenzekile imizi abaye kuyona imoto abayificile imoto ezinegazi na yonke into. Congratulations mantombazana. That young woman was brutalized. You see, she was just picked up there and whatever was not seen, but she was brutalized. She had a tough, bad last hours. For what reason? So tall. What was a combination? But she was brutalized. And the point is, she was brutalized by men. We need to come back to this point of dealing with men. We really need to deal with it. You know, last week I went to Lusikisiki. Lusikisiki, Mfundisi, is part of 4 stations in the Republic of South Africa. Zonke zibanga ukuba number 1 be-rape. Isiteshi ekuthiwa uMlazi eThekwini, iNandi eThekwini kwamamu isiteshi kamamu Makhawula nangendlela Makhawula benohlengiwe isiteshi sabo lesinandi mangesona u1 uMlazi wa sekungene eziwu2 ke manje ngokulida kwe-rape iLusikisiki neNtohendo. Yeah, Tohendo top 4 manje ngoku-rape in the Republic of South Africa. And kurepa amadoda. So manje sibiza nisithandazela ke nithi uThixo uwabusisile amakhosikazi ke nithandazela amadoda ngihlale phezulu kwawo nje ngomthandazo. Siyabonga sizoyiqhuba le ndaba solithola ithuba lokubuya semndenini sizoyinika umndeni punch for a punch. It's a scary story what happened. But the problem, somebody will have to tell us what really happened. But for now, I'm glad we have saved Julius, we have saved Chair. But I wish you and Uti, Mabenga Batolo, Singabona, Ucheke ushade nomsebenzi wami ushade nephoyisa. Maye bekuzofuna ngiyochaza ephoyiseni ukuthi awabopho unkosikazi wami minister sekwenze njani. Go pray for us. Pray for this country. The last one on this one, on the 23rd, Sikipama statistics foot. The last crime statistics is our keeper, last quarter, October, November, December, 3 months, 11,000 women were raped in South Africa in 3 months. 3 months, 11,000 women were raped. But here's a trick. Exactly 50% of them were raped in their own houses. They were raped in their own houses by the people that are supposed to be defending them, protecting them. Raped by the fathers, raped by the uncles. There is a new trend here, rape manje. Yama stepfathers raping stepdaughters. Yanda, sinika mafikazi andayo. Umuntu afike la ebona umama esefika abona okuningi endlini. Therefore, this question ye abuse HPV, amaphoyisa azoqhubeka abophe. But society, namasonto, nathi sonke, families will have to take charge on these matters. Because awuzungitshela ukuthi kuzoresha umshana endlini ungazi umuntu. Awuzungitshela. So is one next big campaign for all of us. Leke campaign le HPV ayina politiki. Ayikhishwe ipolitiki kule. Ayikhishwe. Kubhekwane negilamkhuba zamadoda angemadoda. Isosondweni la Uthi swangizoyisho lento lengizoyisho. Kubhekwane negilamkhuba esifanele sibhekane naso. Hamba uphumula mfakade sizoqhubeka siwenze umsebenzi. Usemningi le team ayikazohamba sazothumelene. Usemningana umsebenzi kufanele siwenze. Kodwa ke lo ufanele uthi uyashada namhlanje. Sombona kahle Monday ukuthi uye ukushada uzobolala ingane yethu. Siyabonga.
So what a privilege and an honor to worship at your throne.
Masibulele, Minister of Police. Asikaze sivumelane nganto now. Kodwa namhlanje I think I agree with you. In 9 years for people who run away from children, you don't make a child and think uzodlinga. Akwenzeki njalo. Sizawucela uKhombisa Mbuyiseni azophakamisa the Commander-in-Chief and the President of the EFF. Khombisa Mbuyiseni, please make your way forward. We have an assignment, Minister Lindy, where Rakgadi Ping, 9 years, they must go. Khombisa Mbuyiseni.
Awuthina siyayisaba le ndawo. Awu esikuyo. Awuthina siyayisaba le ndawo. Awu esikuyo. Awusikhokhela
le komanda lendawo chas esikuyo bathule nje baziqiniso awuyo yo yo chas esikuyo awuthina sayisaba lendawo awuyo yo yo chas esikuyo awuthina sayisaba lendawo awuyo yo yo chas esikuyo awusikhokhele komanda awuyo yo yo chas esikuyo awusikhokhele mbokoto awuyo yo yo chas esikuyo kuqhuma isibhamu esivutha umlilo awuyo yo yo chas esikuyo awusikhokhele komanda awuyo yo yo chas esikuyo adi chiyo 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 mama chiyo 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 kia makerela bizani fire brigade chis abumlilo lo abizani fire brigade ayumlilo lo chis ife ingene bito chis awingena ngesibhaba ife ithatha lendawo chis awumlilo lo abizani fire brigade ayumlilo lo anginisa awi fire brigade chis chis ayumlilo lo ife ithatha lendawo awithatha lendawo ife ithatha lendawo chis awithatha lendawo awizani fire brigade ayumlilo lo awizani fire brigade chis umlilo lo ife ithatha lendawo awithatha lendawo adi chiyo hayi makerela chiyo makerela hliziyo yami buhlungu mangikhumbula yena hliziyo yami buhlungu mangikhumbula yena mama ye chis awe mama ye mama ye chu inhliziyo yami buhlungu mangikhumbula yena inhliziyo yami buhlungu mangikhumbula yena mama ye mama ye mama ye mama ye chus kola nibazale izwe lizobuya xola nibazale izwe lizobuya mama anginizwa awuye mama maye mama maye awe mama maye mama ye chis tiyo makerela Mzansi Afrika awayizolo mama awayizolo baba githi ayamapono chis githi Mzansi Afrika awayizolo khokho githi yizolo mkholo awayamapono githi amapono awebayalebala awebathingelabo awakhodwa ngelethu chus githi amapono awebayalebala awebathingelabo kodwa ngelethu chus idithulunga khale away from my SJ awikhoni iyefe awilobashaya idithulunga khale awe mama kade awikhoni iyefe chis ilobashaya atikhoni iyefe awuyeshayayo awikhoni iyefe chis ilobashaya itikhoni iyefe awuyeshayayo awikhoni iyefe chis awilobashaya manta. Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to greet the leadership of the church led by my big brother Lepoko and the elders of the church. Let me also take this opportunity to greet all veterans of our struggle, greet the captains of the industry, all ground forces of the EFF, led by our capable Deputy President, Floyd Shibambu. Let me greet our ministers who are here and deputy ministers who are here, mayors and councillors. Let me greet the Gardee family and the Mbata family. I want to especially greet Godre's mother, because when we were told about this sad news, my wife could not stop asking about how is Godre's mother doing, because she's too old and frail and she couldn't be taking the sad news that her grandchild has passed on. I stand before you as a defeated man. I stand before you having committed to my brother and my friend, Gardee, that we will find her. I had a hope that we will find her. I knew we were going to find her. We wanted to find her. I'd reassured the father that he must not do anything stupid. She's going to return. Because I know what the father is capable of. I know that the father is a trained soldier. But he has not been trained to kill people, but to protect them. But when pushed to the limit, especially when it comes to his family, in particular, a daughter, a responsible father will do everything in his power to protect his daughter. We continued to search. We unleashed all types of capacity. We had to go and search until I received a call from him that you must stop the search. Then I knew we were defeated. I still said to him, don't worry, we'll handle this thing. Because I knew that no parent must bury their own. It should be the other way around. I unleashed the commissars who are close to him and said, go and be next to that comrade and tell him we will find them. And we will punish them for what they've done. I've never lost a child. I don't know what you are going through. But my suspicion is that you think you have failed her. My suspicion is that you thought maybe if I had opened my office in Nelspruit and sleep there with my kids every day, this was not going to happen. You try to remember when was the last time you gave her a hug. You try to remember when was the last time you told her you love her. Because we take all of this for granted. That's why you remember the messages and the exchange you had with her, because we try to remember and cherish the last moment we had with those we love the most. You're going to try and find blame. Maybe even blame your wife, Auzodwa, who was mistakenly omitted from this obituary. Because she is the mother of this child. Whether someone likes it or not, she is the mother, she's your wife. She's a mother of this child. Maybe we're trying to blame her. Sometimes you'll even try to abandon science and think that she didn't love her, she bewitched her, and then wished all bad things. Because you are seeking for answers. Why me? Of all people, what did I do to whom? You have not done anything to anyone. These people are loose. They do as they wish in this country. The criminals have taken over the streets. And for you to survive, you must pay protection fee to the criminals. Because our country has gone to the dogs. People who chase money more than humanity. You know I get paid for speaking, Godrich, as a member of parliament. Our job is to speak. But when you said Hillary is no more, I didn't know what to tell you. I still don't know what to tell you. All I can do is to bring my body next to you so that you know I care. That I do not only cherish you and celebrate you during nicer times, that as you swim in a pool of darkness, I'm here. I know you are looking for a light. I know our speeches irritate you. You just want to sit quietly and hope light will come from somewhere. I know Karl Marx and Lenin don't make sense to you now because you are in deep denial and wishing that it was a mistaken identity. Yours is still coming. In all of this confusion, ourselves as the leadership of the EFF, there's nothing we can do except to sit next to you. We are here now. My wife and I will be leaving on Sunday. But you must know we are here. I don't sell people out. I stick to those who stick with me. And you did so when it was not fashionable to do so. When I was rejected and treated like I've got leprosy, you came closer to me. It's my turn now to come closer to you and show you the love you deserve. You are a good man, Godrich. You always try to avoid hating anyone. You always reach out, always try to make sense where sense does not prevail. You allowed us to lead you when we were young. You never questioned our age. You joined the EFF at an early stage and never referred to us as boys. By being next to you now is to show you that we too appreciate you. You will never walk this path without the support of the EFF. You are loyal, and loyalty is not permanent. Loyalty must be serviced. If people are loyal to you and you don't return that loyalty, they will get tired and walk away. You are so loyal that even if people speak about me in my absence, I know you will defend me without me hearing. For because you are not grandstanding, we share such a principle that when a person speaks bad of us, even if you are not there, I should say it's not possible. This is not the Godrich I know. There are people who claim to be with you, who claim to support you, only when you are there. Once you take a turn, they start bad-mouthing you. Not Godrich. Not even in the family meeting will he agree that Julius sold me out. I was not there. I don't know anyone. I came to know the younger brother now. No one would have told me that in the family meeting, Godrich agreed that you are a sellout. He stood up in my absence and defended me. I can't do anything for you. I don't want anything from you. If you are my friend and you know me, and I know you, even if I'm not there, they speak bad of me. The Julius you don't know, you must defend me. I will do the same to you. That's loyalty. Not this loyalty of money exchange. Not this loyalty of position exchange. Sellouts live nice life. They are favored by everybody, including the establishment. They will never be prosecuted. No SARS will ever visit them because they sell out at every turn, but they are troubled by their souls. Adirobali dimpimpi. They don't sleep because they know during the day I sold out. They know that I got this PM out of selling out. You can be materially rich, but your soul is so poor because you are selling your own at every turn, especially when you are in private and in the absence of those you claim to love and care. So this comrade we came to support here is one comrade who will never do that. Gardee is not a person that if you are standing next to here and people see you on TV with a person standing next to you, that this is my comrade. What a shame. He doesn't know what is standing next to him. People pitying you at home because standing next to you, it's a cheat. It's a betrayer. It's a sellout. It's a person who's not loyal and take advantage of your trust. It's nothing painful standing shoulder to shoulder, hand to hand, to a betrayer and a sellout. I will never sell you out. I tell you what I think. How you receive it is your own baby to feed Malta Bella. It's not my problem. I speak my mind because I don't want to sell out. So that even when they come gossiping about me, you should say, but he told me. I've got a friend here called Kasel Matali, will tell you. He comes here when we're in the ANC together, that the officials have resolved like this and that. I say, okay. Now I don't agree with those things of officials. And I am not here to ask you to agree, I'm just briefing you. We'll meet tomorrow. We'll be fighting like we have never seen each other because he's a secretary, he must protect the position of the officials. But I've got a mind of my own and I don't agree. And you can ask him half the time with those officials' position, they end up agreeing with me, including him. Or, hey, this point we didn't look at it. This is a proper point. I don't say, no, my friend is a secretary, therefore I can't express myself. Because it will be seen as if I'm opposing him. No, there is friendship. There is politics. We disagree and still become the best friends outside. Gardee was never voted out as a Secretary General. He is the one who came to us and said Obama became president when he was 44. I don't know, he knows those years himself. And he said, I'm too old to be wanting to be these things of Secretary General. Let me support from behind and we give to someone relatively young so that we don't repeat the mistake of where we come from, where people are fighting for positions at 70. It was him who came. I asked him a simple question. Did you finish paying the bond? He said, no. Let's work finishing the bond so that you have a home. You say you're old, you don't have a home. Let's have a proper. He says, no, I've got this home where the wife doesn't like, but I'm selling, I'm going to buy another house. Then he made a mistake of taking the wife to go and look for a house. And then the wife saw a beautiful one, but expensive. And my brother saw the ugly one and cheap. He said, no, I want this one. Every time after we've taken holy water, he complains about this wife. You know, this woman wants expensive house, man. I can't afford those things. Then I said to him, come here. That battle, you are not going to win. I agree you took her there. you're supposed to hunt alone and tell her we have succeeded this side. So you took her, she made a choice, my man, let's go and assemble whatever we can assemble, and we get her a home. And when we went there, it was a beautiful home. I'm like, what is your problem here? This is a proper place. So, he's the one who said he's going to do practicals. His articles is Living Parliament. And I said, what's going to happen? He said, we'll make a plan. He left Parliament. He went to do the articles. We had to pay for his accommodation until he finished his articles. Because we said we needed to support this comrade so that the EFF produces its own lawyers and its own judges. Because we've got a situation where lawyers, all of them are selling out except Dalimbov. All of them. You've got only one lawyer confronting the status quo. The rest of them, they speak in tongues. So we want Godrich to join Dalimpofu to take on the status quo. That's why we supported him. Boom, the first case Godrich Gardee takes. It's a case against the banks. No one dares to undermine the banks. Godrich Gardee says, bring it here. Rabatata bafanas. These are the proper people. Yeah. But we're taking them on through Godrich Gardee. It's the path he chose. And that's why he remains the leader of the EFF, because he's not bitter. In all the officials of the EFF, there is no single former official of the EFF who's bitter. Because they know in the EFF, leaders come and go. The organization remains. So, everywhere you see us, we are all together. Former and present. Because our mission have not been attained. I'm happy with what Godrich said. That is going to adopt Hillary's daughter as her granddaughter. You see the humanity of and the humility of Godrich. You see it in this child. So, we are encouraged by that. You said there you are still owing Hillary the money for the letterhead. And the same sentence you said you are going to form a foundation. That money of the letterhead goes into the foundation already. And all those who are owing Hillary, all of them, ugogo fakude, siyayifuna le mali ingene ku foundation. So that we continue to champion the cause that she stood for. Minister Cele, we fought a lot in the recent past, but we are happy the way you came around. I think your nightmare was tall, so you've got your favorite now, you are proper now. Now you are enjoying now. So things are better, so it means we are going to see better policing now. Because there are no competing interests anymore. And Mayor Manamela, we really appreciate. We appreciate the effort that the minister, together with the commissioners, have put into this. We appreciate the effort that the intelligence has put into this. Like the minister said, just a matter of few hours, everybody will be rounded up and will know the real motive. Whatever the motive is unjustifiable. We will never accept any other motive. Even if their father ran with the money of drugs, we don't accept that they had a reason to kill the daughter. They should have gone to the father. Because the young girl had nothing to do with whatever the business the father is involved in. She could not have committed such, a crime that necessitated these people to go for her in a manner they did. It's unjustifiable. It's unjustifiable. We hope on Monday, when we come into contact with this guy, we'll be able to make sense of what really transpired. We've got children. We're all scared now. We don't know what's going to happen to our children now. Sit at home. Because ritual. Even as politicians, if politicians can be so scared, what about ordinary people? We're so scared. What we saw here in Mpumalanga Premier is scary. It's so scary. We can't leave it unattended to. Minister, we must be on the same side opposing bail on Monday. He must go to trial from inside. Because we don't want to see this person in our streets. We don't want to see them on our streets. They don't deserve to live amongst us. They must rot in jail. And we want you to bring the best of the best brains, even in the prosecution, even in the investigation. There must not be loose ends. Tighten it up and send them to jail for a very long time. Not after 7 years like Senzo Meiwa. No, within a short space of time. Because justice delayed is justice denied. Senzo Meiwa, it doesn't matter whether mapantiti alo swearing ko now rasuona. We even doubt if those killers of Senzo Meiwa are real. It doesn't matter, even if you send them to jail for life. It has been after a long time. It will not serve any justice. We have given up already. That's why Rinyaka is a fisher. When it's still hot, we want them locked for a very long time. The killers of Hillary are rotting in jail. That's the only thing we're wishing for. And in the absence of that, Minister, you will have to defend us all the time, because then we start having ideas. Or if this justice can't serve them properly, what else can we do to complement justice? Compliment. We want to compliment you. So please send them to jail for a very long time. Otherwise, we don't want to see them in the streets here. We don't care who they are. The Premier said, we don't care which political party they belong to, which business they belong to. Because there are people of political parties, by the way, who are involved, who are in this four that Minister is talking about. So, please, save those people and ask them to save themselves. So, when just oppose your own bail. Or no, I don't want a bail, I want to stay in here, I don't want to go home. Because this Mpumalanga community is very angry. And no one will stop them. Comrades, love your children. The differences will always be there. I mean, Hillary and Gardee disagreed a lot, a lot. And you know, life is so funny, because at a point when they are now finding each other, even Gardee going around boasting about it, or, no, this one, she's coming okay. She's even having this. She's now registering for this. We're going to the graduation. You know, they were now developing a very strong bond following the passing away of the biological mother of Hillary. When they were coming so tight, unfortunately, this happened. Love your children. Just hug them and kiss them on the forehead. Hug the boy child. The boy child feels very neglected and resort to learn the law from the streets and not from home. Love your children, including those that you have abandoned. Find a way of reaching out and loving them, because they are the ones who become criminals. Utsama o re khosetsa ditsotsi, utsama o belega bana o sa ba tlhokomele. So ya ke wena a niele re tswere mathata ka bana bao ba mapitši. Take care of your children. These thugs were not shown love. Nobody who has ever been shown love can stab a person, the whole body. These cowards, they were never loved. Love your children. They are cowards because they shot her from behind. They couldn't look at her in the eye and shoot her on the forehead. Only cowards like apartheid policemen shoot from behind. People were not loved by their parents. Children were rejected by their parents. You've got so many kids, man. 2,000, just distribute the little you can do for these children so that they start loving themselves because their parents love them. This is an act of self-hate. They don't love themselves because they've never been shown love by anyone. Love them. Godrich, let's love this daughter of Hillary. She must get the best care. She must be the best, so that even when she grows up, she doesn't live to regret that perhaps I'm the one who caused my mother's death, because everybody's rejecting her. Love your parents and build them proper houses. To avoid Colin Mashawan Foundation building your parents' houses when you are still alive. Your mother is staying in a house donated by a foundation, yet you are driving the best car. Especially Lena ba rangwane ka mo. Look after your own. Look after your parents. Look after your parents. Learn from Godrich. He's looking after his family and his parents. If we love our parents, we love our children, and men stop attacking women, we'll live a peaceful life. There is no woman who needs protection. This nonsense that says let's protect women, it's wrong. Just stop attacking them. There won't be a need for protection, because it is us who attack women. Minister is correct. Muruti, men must have a conversation. For men, when you do stupid things, we grow up to be told that, why would you do that? You're not a man. 4 men can have a conversation amongst themselves that what we are doing is wrong. 4. And they're not poverty-stricken, by the way. Some of them own properties, proper properties, here in Nelspruit. It's not poverty, it's not nyaupe. Real stuff. Some of them with credentials, political credentials, can have a clever conversation. 4 of them. Or no, wait, lock the door, let's talk this side. What are we doing? 4 of them. No nyaupe addicts. Not some lousy people that you think, this one is obvious. The people that are called with titles, the people that wear suits and present themselves as gentlemen. Gogo, don't be discouraged, Mom. Don't be discouraged. We are here. You are not alone. You lost one out of millions. We are with you, Gogo. We are going to protect you. They can't kill us all. They have killed one. You still have us. We are going to bury you. You will never bury us. We are going to carry your coffin. We will put it on top of your grave. We will salute you. We will give you a send-off, because the question you are perhaps asking yourself is, who's going to bury me when my children are dying? We will bury you. The EFF will bury you. And it doesn't organize clumsy funerals. It organizes dignified funerals that were last seen with O.R. Tambo and Chrisan. The rest are just by the way. So, unga worry, go. You are going to be properly looked after. You will never sleep without a meal. You've got soldiers there in your family. Your boys are there. They are going to support you. They are going to feed you. I want you to be strong, Gogo, because I don't want to come back here and be told that she couldn't survive this pain. I want you to stay long and know that we love you, and know that nothing will happen to you. We'll protect you as the EFF and make sure that you enjoy this freedom that your child fought for. Your child was supposed to be relaxing and enjoying the fruits of freedom. You were supposed to be enjoying your child. You missed so much when he was in exile and hoping for his return. When he returns back home, he never gets to see peace he fought for because of his surname. Instead of being a hero, he's an enemy of an establishment. For sure, you ask yourself, Gogo, when will I see peace? When will I enjoy like others? Because when mine was in exile, they told me that his return will mean the end of my suffering and pain. But it meant the beginning of a worst pain ever, where you lose your grandchildren because there's no one to secure the streets. We will fight them. We will win. We are not going to fail. Even if we fail, our children will never fail. This South Africa will never surrender to criminals. This South Africa will never be surrendered to corrupt elements that want to be feared and worshipped. I'm not scared of them. Neither should you be scared of them, Gogo. You are a martyr, you are a hero. You gave birth to fearless fighters. That's why today they wanted you to crawl in shame. They killed her and looked at you and said, want to see how she will bury this granddaughter. Little did they know that you've got a solid wall behind you. Will not fail you, Gogo. Thank you very much.
Masibulele kumongameli. uHillary befuna uphinda uthethe. Ngoku sizawulungela ukuvuma. Fighter Bayote, please prepare. Sislebo Sekhobela and Fighter Sipongwenya. One item each so that we prepare ourselves for the procession. We're all We are going to Rocky's Drift Cemetery. We are going to ask everyone to be seated and allow the procession to leave the church in this order. The family will leave first, followed by the leadership and the dignitaries from government, and everyone else will then follow. When we come back from the cemetery, we all come back here and be seated again. For the leadership and the government officials, there are ushers that will deal with your logistics, and the congregation at large, there are different ushers that will deal. We're now going to give over to Utata Mfundisi azosikhupha enkonzweni.
One, two. So sicela abafundisi abakhona basijoin if we have other pastors here. The Reverend from the Methodist Church is the one that is going to lead us. Amen.
Warm greetings, beloved. All protocol observed, it's good to be here with you. I'm going to pass over to two of our preachers as well, who will lead us in some familiar prayers of the Methodist people. And we'll invite you to join us. We'll continue at the graveside. Thank you so much.
Mna ndikukuvuka ndibubomi okholwa yokum nokuba efile wodla ubomi noko nosukuba ekholwa kum esidla ubomi akasayi ukuze afe.
Asizanga nanto ukuza emhlabeni kusekuhleni ukuba asingephume nanto kanjalo nguYehova obenika nguYehova ohluthileyo igama lika Yehova malidunyiswe.
Mna ndikukuvuka ndibubomi okholwa yokum nokuba efile wodla ubomi noko nosukuba esidla ubomi ekholwa kum akasayi ukuze afe.
Ndiyazi ukuba umkhululi wami uhleli nokuba wosuka ekupheleni eme phezu komhlaba naxeshekweni emva kwenhlonze yami sekubhujiswe umzimba lo nothi noko enyameni yami ndimbone uThixo endiya kumbona ngokwami namehlo ami ayakumkhangela engenguye umbi.
Asizanga nanto ukuza emhlabeni kusekuhleni kube singephumi nanto kanjaqo uYehova ebenika uYehova ohluthileyo igama lika Yehova malidunyiswe.
Na ndikuvuka nibubomi okholwayo kum nakuba efile wodla ubomi noko nosukuba esidla ubomi ekholwa kum akasuyi kaze afe.
Ndiyazi ukuba umkhululi wami uhleli nokuba wosuka ekupheleni eme phezu komhlaba naxeshikweni emva kwenhloso yami sekubhujiswe umzimba lo nothi noko enyameni yami ndimbone uThixo endiya kumbona kengunguye umbi namehlo ami ayakumkhangela engenguye umbi.
Asizanga nanto ukuza beni kusekuhleni ukuba asingephume nanto kanjalo nguYehova obenika nguYehova ohluthileyo igama lika Yehova malidunyiswe.
Sebethi makatile nga wesuku afike kuseni ezokuphama damasha Jesu fike kuseni sebethi makatile nga wesuku abantu afike kuseni ezokuphama damasha. You know the song. Ufike kuseni sebethi makatile ngawe ebusuku afike kuseni ezokuphama damasha. Yes, Jesus. Ufike kuseni sebethi makatile ngawe ebusuku afike kuseni ezokuphama damasha. Fica do céu.
Jesus fica do céu.
Oh,
Sebete bakadile ngawe.
Uta fica do céu.
Fica do céu.
Akupa masha. Yani shobo sikubalekela. Yenu yafika uJesu. Fika kusenu uJesu. Kupha amandla amasha. Ziyekeni isihlobo sikulahlise ebusuku. Yekela abangani bahlehle vele isebusuku. Yekela ubuhlungu bukuhle vele isebusuku. Kodwa ekuseni uzofika uJesu. Akunike ithemba elisha. Akunike namandla amasha. Wena ungakhathazeki. Bayekela bakudele. Jesu ufike Sebethi baqedile ngawe. Fika do céu. Kupha amandla amasha. Ngisalela ngutshela ingane. Kufana noShadrach, Meshach and Abednego.